Good morning everybody, and welcome back to another episode of my main progression series where I'm taking my kinda mediocre main account and turning it into a slightly less mediocre main account. Now for the last 2 or 3 months I've been focusing heavily on skilling because I had a lot of pretty easy 99s to get out of the way. However, today I want to focus on a couple of main goals, one being to actually max my combat, something I've never done before. I also really want to finally unlock the Alchemical Hydra, as well as try out solo raids and maybe some other fun PvM. Anyway guys, let's get started. Alright, so we have actually around 590 mil left over from transferring a bill from my main account. And I thought it was probably time to get a few upgrades for raiding and just PvM in general. First up here, we're going to be going for the Vernic Defender Hill, one of the last few things I can upgrade for melee. It did cost 55 mil, but it also is a pretty solid upgrade. Woohoo, there we go, we got an Vernic. It does look pretty cool too. Now specifically for the Chambers of Zarek, a really solid upgrade is the Sanguinesti Staff. It is just a bit better than the Toxic Trident because you do get a self-heal. Now on top of that, we're also going to be buying the Ancestral Robe top and bottom. That will be not only useful for the Chambers of Zarek, but also for Slayer. Whenever I do get Bursting Task, Ancestral is very good. Honestly, at this raid, we're not missing too much. I think we could go ahead and buy Armadillo. Oh yeah, we can also get the Face Guard. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and buy the Basilisk Jaw and go ahead and turn that into a Face Guard as well. Now the Face Guard is kind of interesting because it isn't really that useful for Slayer, particularly because, well, you're always wearing a Slayer helm. That said though, for raids 1 it is pretty nice to have. And I mean, there are definitely some circumstances where you would end up using it. For example, Vorkath, you can use the Face Guard and, well, it just kind of looks badass to be honest. Alright, well, I think it's time to go test out our new gear. Okay, well I wouldn't exactly say that we've recouped our entire Raids 1 investment yet, but you know what, a drop is a drop even if dexes are only worth 17 mil nowadays. Oh my god, it's so cheap. Okay, hear me out guys. We have 100 Pegasian Crystals buying. For every Pegasian Crystal I get, I'm going to gain 200 runecrafting experience. Which means I only have to buy 1 trillion Pegasian Crystals to get 99 runecrafting. So 1 trillion divided by 8 every 4 hours is going to take a little while. Honestly, I think I'm making about 100k on each of these, so I think it's not a bad idea just to kind of do passively, although the runecrafting experience is very slow. Well, I'm not mad about that. We bought the Ranger Boots for 38,300 and sold them for 38,880, which means I just made about 600k in profit per boot combination. So we must have just made 3 or 4 mil just like that, kind of accidentally. Alright, so one thing I've been kind of wanting to work on a little bit here is mining. And by a little bit, I mean I'm just kind of looking for something super AFK to do while my hands recover from abusing them over the last month or two multi-skilling. But what we're actually going to do is unlock the top level of the Motherlode mine. And to do that, we're actually going to be selling back our prospectors. My reasoning is we're probably going to get more XP per hour on the top level anyway, and we'll get the nuggets back quick enough. It's way better up there, it's more AFK, so I think it's actually worth selling the gear for, buying it back later. Oh, it's so much better up here. This is definitely the way to go. Now I can finally laugh at the peasants down below, spit on them as they run by, as I go and get my like 1 or 2 mining levels. Okay, there's level 73 mining, that actually might be all for now. Oh my god, it is done, we finally did it. We did our first solo raid ever, and you know what, it was scuffed of course, but it could have gone worse. We suicide supplies, and that was actually our only death, and while an hour is not really a good time, well, it's still better than 3 hours. Okay, that one was definitely a little bit better. We shaved about 5 minutes off of our PB. I kind of expect we'll probably get a personal best like every time for the first like 5 or 6 raids, I hope. Oh yeah, that one was so much better. 46 minutes on that one, and a Dark Relic as well. I'm really not going to be focusing so much on trying to get an item, just kind of trying to improve my times and just get better at solo raids. I really don't have much practice doing higher end PvM like this, so it's going to be kind of new. Now at this point, I'm definitely not very close to a deathless raid. I still definitely have to suicide supplies, which unfortunately lowers the amount of points you get and your times pretty significantly. Now, as some of you may know, the new Shades of Morton rework just came out yesterday, and there's some really interesting new content in there. Now, what I want to try doing is killing the new high-level shade in there, and with the update, there's actually a new item that allows you to store the shade remains in it. Now, you can just go ahead and buy a gold lock right from the Grand Exchange, attach it to the broken coffin, and now we have the highest tier coffin in the game. It was dirt cheap as well. It looks pretty cool, although I probably won't be wearing it. Probably just keep it in the inventory. Now, I went and checked the value of the uranium shade remains on the Grand Exchange, and they're around 10,000 each right now, which means currently killing the new shades is like 1.5 to maybe even 2 mil per hour, which is pretty good for mid-level content, although I do expect that to go down. Okay, so we just did a full inventory, and that took around 10 or 15 minutes, and we got 500k for it. Not half bad. I mean, even if it was worth half that amount, this method could still get up to maybe around 1 mil an hour, which I mean for a mid-level combat training method isn't really that bad. Now, just because I was curious, I ended up doing an entire hour of killing the new shades, and we gathered, I think, around 200 of the new shade remains pretty much on the dot. Now, the reason that these actually have any value is because you can burn them and get a new key, and the key can be used to open up a brand new chest, which has fairly valuable loot, although nothing too crazy in it. Okay, so in 1 hour, we gathered exactly 200 shade remains, which if they sell for around 10,000 each, is 2 mil, so not bad. Well, we've done it, guys. We've killed like enough shades to get an entire defense level. There's 98 defense, which means we only have 1 more level to go before combat level 126. Does it really do anything in particular? No, but it looks cool, and in a way it'll be kind of freeing because, well, there's just no specific combat style I need to train, which means at this point I can just truly do whatever is the best and most efficient way to kill the monster. Okay, we've been putting off this last Slayer level for too long now. We are only around 200 or 300,000 experience away from level 95 Slayer, which means we'll finally have unlocked the last Slayer monster, that being the Hydra, which means we can do the alchemical Hydra. So let's go finish that off. Oh, it finally happened. I unlocked Smoke Devils so long ago at 93 Slayer, and I'm almost level 95. I've only done Duradel tasks, and somehow that is the first Smoke Devil task I've ever gotten. The dry streak is finally over. Okay, so apparently there's actually a bursting method, and it's a little bit complicated, but essentially you use the cannon to group all of these Smoke Devils together. And I have marked the tiles you need to run between. First, you run down to tile number 1, wait for all of them to get baited in, and then walk over to tile 2. Wait for those Smoke Devils to get baited in, and then finally go to tile 3, and they should be fairly grouped together. Now, if you are doing this correctly, Smoke Devils can be the best Slayer task in the entire game for experience. That is partially because you can both use a cannon and barrage, and they also have fairly high hit points. Now, after finishing the task up, we were hovering around 85,000 Slayer experience per hour, and that was without a superior. With a superior spawner too, you could easily get up to 90, 95k, or even maybe 100k per hour. It is a little bit unfortunate that this may be my last Smoke Devil task as well, because we're getting pretty close to 95, at which point I'm planning on doing Konar. 171 Hellhounds, there we go. I think that actually probably will be enough to get me to 95 Slayer. I'll probably have to do 100 of the kills or so, but I like Cerberus, and I really want to get the Cerberus pet at some point, so we're going to go ahead and do it. So no crystal drops to speak of, but that's not the important part here. This is going to be the final Cerberus kill that we need to get for 95 Slayer. There we go, guys. A Slayer level a long time in the making, but finally we have unlocked the Hydra task, which is the last task you need to unlock in the game, unless of course they add something in later. I am extremely stoked to try out the alchemical Hydra, although the blowpipe nerf is coming in like 2 days. So there we go, everything is unlocked for Slayer. I'm really hyped about that. Now of course the only thing we need to do is get a Hydra task, which could take a little while. Oh, that's amazing. Second try, and we got 158 Hydras, which should keep us busy for quite a while. We don't get lucky on the Smoke Devil task, but we do get lucky in Hydra, which honestly is better because Konar has quite a few pretty shit tasks. Okay, so I thought I would maybe go ahead and do parts of the Karand and Kebo's achievement diary, because there's actually a couple of really useful rewards. I can't quite yet do the elite diary, but I should pretty easily be able to do the medium and hard. Now, even the hard diary allows you to teleport to Mount Cruel, which is very useful, although only 3 times a day. However, getting the elite diary would be pretty sweet because we could then wear Pegasian boots again. Otherwise, right now we have to wear boots of brimstone, which aren't quite as good. And 7.5k runecrafting experience, I will take that. I've actually never cast Monster Examine before, but there we go, we finished the Current and Kebos Hard Diary. The more of these diaries I can complete, the better, because that is just more runecrafting experience, and we do need about 77 to 80 for quite a few of the elite diaries. So that is another 15,000 runecrafting experience, which means that is another runecrafting level. We've trained this skill for like a total of half an hour, I think. For a level 95 Slayer boss, the Hydra is actually pretty easy, and there's very little unavoidable damage. So that is really exciting. We got our very first kill of Hydra, we're going to start getting the hang of it, and we have another 150 or so more to go to really get it down. Okay, well we are about midway through our Hydra task right now, but one thing we're not going to be getting for a while is melee combat trainings. So I thought I'd go ahead and finish off a goal I've been working on for a while now, and that is max combat. There we go, 99 defense at the most nostalgic training place in the game, the Lumbridge Goblins. That's really exciting, guys. Not only is that another 99, but it's something I've kind of wanted to have, well, since I was a kid, to be honest. We have finally become the strongest warrior in Gielinor, and the final thing we need to do here is buy our defense cape to round off the set. There we go, guys. Defense cape acquired, the final combat cape. As always, we customarily have to do the emote. Actually kind of badass, I like that one. Feels good to be done though. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. 2 big goals knocked out of the way, that being max combat and 95 Slayer. In the next episode, we are going to continue on trying to make more money, but also I'm probably going to hop back on the skilling grind to try to get more 99s and continue towards maxing the account. Now before I go here, I want to give a massive thank you to all of my members over on YouTube. A huge thank you to Ocelot, Kush Patel, Brad Sings, Brian Robinson, Zach Staba, and Cappy, who all subscribed at the Dragon tier. You guys are awesome. Thank you again. Joining Base Titch, Birdbot, Grumpy Chef, Timothy Chen at the Runite tier, and of course all of you guys. I really appreciate you. If any of you guys are looking for another way to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is an awesome way to do it. You'll get access to my video release schedule, get a custom role in my Discord, as well as be immortalized in all of my future videos. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.